right, my name is Aaron Esdon. Thank you all for coming to my class today. I know we just had lunch. My first time ever in Europe, period. So it's a bit of like a wild experience to come to a beautiful place like this to teach you guys something. We're gonna do some back submission and kind of control today. Before we get started though, I kind of like to do an experiment in all my classes where I just have people pair up. It can be hopefully be someone with you don't know. And all you're gonna do is just escape back control. So I don't want any submissions. I don't want any kind of like body triangles and stuff. So Mike, you wanna come here for a second? All I want you to do, and you can go back and forth at your leisure. It's kind of a way for you to get to know your partner. You're just gonna take their back. I don't care what you do with your, literally, I don't care what you do with your hands. If seatbelt grip, you know, Kimura, 2-on-1, whatever you want. And you just have your partner here just escape. And you just try to hold on, you know, friendly. We're not trying to kill each other here. So Michael's just going to do his standard back escape now. So just go. Come up in the guard. That's it. All right. So I just want you to get a partner. Go back and forth. We'll do that for like a few minutes and maybe up the resistance just a little bit as you drill it. All right. Let's go. All right. Can I get a volunteer who thinks they're like strong? Would you just point at somebody?
That's a volunteer.
Who'd you point at? Good. This isn't. I want to share a secret that can you right here? A lot of instructors won't like to admit. We like to watch those Mick Dojo type of videos where it's like we use our chi to make the uki do whatever we want. Deep down inside, we really want that, even though we know it's not real. So what we're going to try to show you today is a control position that I've been using for years that kind of buys me some time when I have someone's back, right? So what I usually traditionally like to do is either have a Kimura grip or like a 2-on-1. I've got 2 monkey paws wrapped over the forearm and wrist, right? So what I started to do a few years ago is just like everything in this martial art, focused on the end of the lever, right? And what I'm aiming for is the base of the pinky is really what I'm going for. So I know the rules state you can grab the majority of the fingers. So technically if I wanted, and I'm not gonna be very nice, I could grab 3 fingers. Now the issue is I can't twist them. Even though I might want to, I can't. I can just hold on to them. So it's probably not the best idea to be holding onto someone's fingers. What I really wanna do is hold on to the palm of the hand. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this kind of setup, control, and we're going to do a test. So this person here is going to help you to make sure that you're doing the control right. So how it's going to look is you're going to start with either a Kimura grip or 2 monkey paws on the arm. The hand that's closest to their hand, you're simply just going to slide it down their hand. I'm not letting go. I'm just sliding all the way down until I have a hold of as many of their fingers as I can possibly get. Usually I get 3, if not 4. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to point their hand facing out. This other hand's going to slide down, and what I'm going to try to do is get as much of the palm meat, the meat of the hand in the palm, grasp between my fingers and my palm. I'm not going to use my thumbs. What I'm aiming for is my index finger wraps over the base of his pinky finger. I have to get down that far. And I want to get a firm grip, and I want to hold it against his chest. And now as a test, I'll ask him to straighten his arm. So straighten your arm. So he's like pushing down. All I want to do is like push it straight out. Now, if you don't have right down to the pinky, let's say you've kind of wrapped maybe up here by the base of the wrist, and it's very easy to lose it. So you'll be able to tell. What I want this person to do is help you. Don't be like, oh, I'm really trying. Like, really try. Because it should be in such a way that if you wrap it right around the base of the fingers, you plant the hand on the chest and ask them to straighten their hand out, should be fine, right? This is going to buy me some time to set up all the things that I want to do now, all right? So do we need to see that again?
One more time, please.
Let's get with our partner. Oh, sorry, one more time. Let's kind of turn here a bit. We'll do it on this side. So the key detail is you still need like a seatbelt grip. So there's the arm that's under this arm, and there's an arm that's over. I'm not too over, I'm not too under. I still have a seatbelt here, right? I slide down. I have to hold this arm in place, slide down to the fingers, pointing the hand facing out. This one slides down, and I'm really focusing on wrapping all my fingers down into the palm of the hand. Palm to fingers, not using my thumbs, and have your partner straighten their arms. So go. All right? So we have the partners and do that, please. Let's go. Did we have any kind of questions or problems with that? There's like usually like the first question I get is, well, isn't this like a wrist lock? Kind of. I like the kind of, like it's kind of like a gray area. It's not black or white. If this person starts doing stuff, then yeah, they might wrist lock themselves. So what I want for the following kind of stages, anytime something feels tight or it hurts, just say tap or tap, right? Because this person's going to start doing things and they're going to start submitting themselves pretty much. The one defense to this is just relax. Like, don't panic. It's really hard to do though. William can do something very, very simple. If he doesn't want me to gain control of his hands, he can just keep his hands away from me, right? But then what happens when I start doing this? Is his hands going to come up? Oh, there they are. And you just grab them, right? So if the person's going to be playing games with you and keeping their hands away, just start choking them, right? Instinct, their hands will come up to their face and then you gain control here, okay? So what we're going to do is a hammer lock is the first one, kind of like a big brother bully style submission. You can kind of like turn and face a little bit. Just a little right there, perfect. So this is all predicated on this person wanting me to let go or wanting to kind of like power into this move. So once I get this palm grip, and like I said, I'm really, I almost feel like clapping my fingers against the palm of my own hand. That's as hard as I'm going to hold on to it. When William starts straightening his arm out, there's this weird natural inclination to do this. Like this starts to happen, right? That's not a bad thing. Just go with it. So I usually want to keep my chest glued to his back, but for a second, I'm going to like separate. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck the hand back up underneath his back, and then I'm going to re-engage. So we're here now. And all you have to do is just kind of look at your partner and slowly trace the back of your hand up their spine. And all I'm doing is I'm just bringing his hand all the way up behind his head. So depending on your flexibility, you might like feel like you're bringing their hand all the way up their back, right? It's really hard for you guys to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to try to get it like in as many different angles as I can get. So we're here. If this person relaxes, you can kind of induce a reaction by starting to pull it up behind their back. At all times, you want to maintain contact between their hand and their body, okay? Or your hand and your body. If they got big hands and your hand stuck behind it, you focus on your hand touching their body. I'm not out here trying to mess around. It's glued the entire time. I'm holding on chest to back and the hands are on the front. You can either start doing it or they're gonna start straightening their hand out. And you just kind of like ride the wave. And you're just letting them do it. I'm not doing anything. William's doing it. Disengage, re-engage. And we just sit here for a second. He has to think, do I want to tap now? Okay, he's not. So slowly, just trace the back of your hand up the spine. Depending on the tightness of your shoulders, if you have any injuries, this might be your tap right here. Like you might get this, they might straighten their hand out. You might get to like here, and they'll start to feel it right here. This might be your tap. So I want you to be careful, and it's a slow, this is not a quick move. You disengage, re-engage. You're just trying to get their hand and your hand stuck between you two. And then you're just pulling it up their back, all right? We got it? All right, let's go back and rep that up, please. Let's go. Did a couple questions. I can address now. If I don't cover maybe an issue you had or a question you had, we can cover it now. Two were, maybe I didn't say it clearly enough, but if this person just stays relaxed and is like, I know what you're trying to do here. I know if I struggle, it's just going to become worse and worse. Then you have to like initiate it. And it doesn't have to be like a super aggressive movement. I'm literally just start dragging the hand this way. And it's very difficult to stop without starting to put energy. Like you start tensing up when someone starts moving your arm in a way you don't want. You just tense up. And that tension in the arm, it's almost like he's letting me do it just by doing that, right? But if he stays relaxed, I'm just gonna keep tracing his hand up behind his back, all right? We had some people in the room who were extremely flexible. So their hand was like basically touching the back of their head. That's gross, whoever you are, that's gross. I can't touch my hands behind my back anymore. But that's from years and years of bragging that I probably could, and now I can't now. So if you can really kind of touch your hands behind your back and you're super flexible, don't let someone do this to you. Just tap, right? It's not worth it because eventually that's going to go away. Eventually, right? So if you find that you're getting here and you've tucked their hand up behind their back and you have it glued, maybe you just want to like just keep it there. Now, simple math. 2. William, how many hands do you have? 1. I just take 1 away and then I start doing whatever it is I want to do. Okay? Simple math. Okay? So we can kind of review that if based on how this person reacts. Okay? This person's going to react in usually one of 2 ways. They're not just going to sit here. They're usually going to fall one way or the other, right? And depending on which way they fall, you have some options that you can do, all right? So we're going to cover one option that generally will affect people that have tight shoulders. I found that even if it doesn't affect your shoulder, it's going to affect the muscle going down your side, your lat, right up into your shoulder and your neck, okay? It's called a thunder bar. I don't know if people know what that submission is. So I found I can usually hit a thunder bar on somebody and I feel really cool doing it with this setup, okay? So same setup. I've pulled the fingers open and faced the palm out. I've wrapped my fingers as much as I can get. You're not always gonna get everything, but you want to do this optimally. So as much as I can get, pinching. Now, a simple solution maybe, William will fall to the direction that I would have pulled his hand. He's just gonna, for a second, stay here. Now, my ability to pull his hand under behind his back is now defeated based on gravity and just our meat and bones in this area, right? So I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm going to still attack the shoulder. I'm just gonna use the hinge of my hips and my entire body and core and not worry so much about my hands. So for this to work, you have to keep this glued to their chest, right? This hand is going to come on this side of their head. And I'm not being mean here, but I really connect my tricep, my elbow, to William's face, okay? I really want to have a connection here. I want to create a little bit of tension down his trap between his neck and his shoulder. I don't want him to be relaxed here. So I connect, pushing up, this hand here, a monkey paw behind underneath the elbow. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up on the elbow as I start arching my back. It doesn't seem like it should do a lot, but it's very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable, right? Let's go back. So this is a move for like you don't want to be struggling with hands. Maybe you think they're super flexible. You don't want to disengage. You want to stay as close and tight as you possibly can. I find this is the one I try to do first, all right? So again, we're going to get her set up. We'll turn that way next. We're going to, as soon as you get this, get a good grip, your partner's going to instinctually just fall onto their side like they would do a escape. I'm going to stay close to stop William from continuing this escape, even though it's probably not going to work because I have his hand. This arm is going to be, I'm going to reach all the way around and very gently, yet purposefully, push up on his head with my tricep and elbow. This hand here, I'm not grabbing with my thumb and fingers. I'm just simply cupping the tip of the elbow on the underside of his arm. And I'm not really focusing on using strength here. I will use my arm, but what I'm doing is I'm arching my back as I pull up. The hand grip is what's keeping William weak. I continue to pull and arch. That's as far as he can go. You might have them have their whole arm behind their head. Just continue to pull and arch. They're gonna feel an immense amount of pressure going down their side into their shoulder, right? And one more time facing the other way. On this side, so we're here. We have a 2-on-1. Get the palm grip. Immediately he falls. I have to keep my head down here. I cannot let him escape. But to make it a little easier for myself, I wave, elbow in, and I create that tension on his neck. This hand here, I'm just reaching for the end of the lever almost, right here, the point of the elbow. I'm reaching it or not, like underneath. And as I arch my back, I start to pull up. And I'm always thinking about, I'm going to eat William's elbow. I'm going to put his elbow into my mouth. It's never going to get there. But just that's what you're going to visualize. I'm going to eat the elbow. A little more flexible on that side.
Yes,
but that's as far as he went, right? And it didn't cost me anything. I didn't have to lose the position. If I have to come back, I'm back here now, right? Can we get with our partners and try that, please? Go. One small detail that maybe I didn't say it the right way, but I wanted to correct is what I'm trying to expose when I'm pulling the arm up is I kind of want this like sexy pose where like you just kind of putting your hand behind your head. You can kind of see my bicep, the inside of it. I wasn't crunching the arm together because you're just going to get to a certain point and the arm's not going to crunch anymore. Like that's just going to be it. But I'm then trying to flare the elbow up. I'm really trying to expose this and stretch this as much as I can. So I saw some people, they would get the grip, they would fall, they would do everything correctly, but then they would start pulling up like this. I wasn't just, this is weird. I wasn't doing this like, hello. I'm not, I want to show everyone how strong William is. So I show them his bicep as I arch my back. That does not feel good. Versus me just doing this weird, we'll just keep going and going, and his arm can only go so far, right? So the one reason why I like to show that first is because the next move will involve you moving your body. So this one doesn't involve you moving your body at all. But one of my go-to back attacks before I learned this was a simple armbar from back that we were all taught. And I love to do it based on a Kimura grip, where you have your Kimura grip here. We would fall to the side, or I would induce a fall to the side. I'd be putting my foot on the hip, pushing myself up, and I would like pendulum and kick over and come up into this armbar, right? I found like I was my size or my execution, there was just in that moment of like transitioning to the armbar, there would be the escape every time. To execute any submission, there's going to be that moment of space and time that they're going to exploit, all right? So what I found was this grip slows everything down. And they pause for like a second. They're like, I don't want to move. Because there's a lot of tension on the wrist here as I bend the hand out. So you're still doing the same move. You have to move yourself, but it buys you some time, right? So again, gonna pull the hand open, wrap. We're gonna fall to this side. Now this time, I've assumed a back position where my bottom leg is kind of curled up over the waist, and my top leg, the arch of my foot is planted on the hip. I love to do this because I can like manipulate the orientation of my body versus my opponent's from Canada. So I like to visualize that I'm like a totem pole. So if I'm down here like this, you can't see my face. I want to be a really good totem pole. So I push my opponent down. So now our heads are on top of each other. If you don't feel like the most awesome totem pole, they're not pushed down far enough. You really need to push them down, okay? I'm still keeping this glued to his chest. In the transition now, when I kick out and I pendulum him over, I'm gonna pull up on this hand, this palm grip. I'm gonna hold it tight and be pulling it up towards my face. And I end up here. There's really no moment where I don't think, was there? Where he's like, I'm gonna get out now. No. Because there's like, ow, my wrist. But now, if you want to, if you don't want to have any friends, I don't really care about friends, by the way. Friends are overrated. Wrist locks for life. I have William's elbow planted right in the middle of my chest. And all I have to do is very politely is to start pulling the back of his hand towards his elbow. And he's going to. If that's not your scene, you love friends, maybe you're not like me, you just simply have to pinch your knees, hold on tight, and hip up for the armbar, okay? I'll leave that one up to you. I'll know what type of person you are as I walk around, whether you like friends or you don't like friends. All right, I thought we were friends. Hey, I did the armbar. All right, so one more time. Sorry. This might, if you're brand new to seeing an armbar from the back, getting to that position might be everything. That pendulum and the kind of rocking. All of our hips are nice and round. You just have to time the kick and the roll as your leg comes around and clears the head. You're using your hamstring curl to sit up as you push into their head. But it's all slowed down with this grip, all right? So we're here, he falls. Maybe I don't want a thunder bar. Maybe I just don't want a friend. I don't care, I don't know. So I push him down. As I go, I pull up and I kick over. And I'm really planting the elbow against my chest. If you want to put your legs down for a second. If you want to be extra kind of controlled, I will cross my feet. Christian shows this as like an armbar position where I have a bit of like a diamond here, the diamond of doom. And all you have to do now is slowly just pull the back of the hand towards the elbow or hug, pinch, and just lean back and hips up for the arm. All right? Can we go with the partners and try that, please? Let's go. I like that when I went around, I'm reinforcing like little details about the original control. Because like, I know I've shown like a lot of things here. Don't forget and we're gonna cover it in the last 5 or 10 minutes. The initial control is everything. It's nice to do arm bars and I got thunder bar and a wrist lock, great. If you don't have proper control, you're not doing anything. You're just gonna lose it and you get frustrated like, I'm not doing that move, it sucks. There's one thing that I'm going to reiterate before I move on, is it's not just a palm grip. It's that plus one other thing. I have to make William like almost like wave to everyone in front of him. That's what's putting a slight bend in his wrist. Just weakens the joint just enough. I'm at the end of the lever. That tips the scales in my favor. If I don't do that, if I leave my wrist bent, now I have the weakness. He's strong. He literally can just like start karate chopping. Like I just got done telling you could feel super strong and then it doesn't work. But it's just that one little tilt. I'm just tilting the hand. My wrist should not be bent. It should either be straight or just kind of arched back like a motorcycle revving. It's just a little bit back. His wrist is now bent. Now when he goes to straighten his arm out, I'm just laughing. All right. So the last thing we're going to cover is I generally don't want to show things that involve flexibility or mobility to the whole room. At the start of the class, I want to leave it to the end in case maybe I underestimated everyone in the room. Everyone can do it. I want to give everyone the meat and potatoes at the beginning, and this is the one at the end. Let's kind of turn face a bit. So logically, the only other way that William can fall is the other way, which he might not want to do because we've already established I can just pull his hand behind his back, right? Once we fall, I really don't have to get it all the way behind the back. Because remember, I want to be a totem pole. I want to be head above head, right? So I can induce it or he's going to straighten his hand out. And all I'm going to do is bring my knee to my face. I'm never going to knee myself in the face. I can try to like, yeah, I'm never going to get there. But you can kind of visualize that's what you're doing. And then I bite down on my heel, cross my feet, and then I let go. Again, I'm down to math again, 2-on-1. I can like get this out of the way. I can start going for chokes. But I just want to trap that hand behind these crossed feet. As much as I can get my feet together, I ideally like this bottom leg crossed over the top leg. I'm not crossing it the other way because William, can you get your hand out? Pretty easy. We put it back. I cross the other way. I'm biting my heels down into William's side. His hand is beside him. It's not behind him, stuck between us. Can you get your hand out? Nope. And I start going for whatever I want to go for, right? So let's go back. So when I'm doing this move, there's like, William can be cut in half vertically, like straight up and down. If he was standing up, I take like a meat blade and just slice him in half. There's a midpoint on his side. I want to get his hand just behind that midpoint on the round arch of his back, his ribs here on the back side. That's as far as I need it. That's when I knee myself in the face, which you're not going to do, and then try to cross your feet. So we're going to go again. So we're here. I make him wave to the camera. Fingers down palm. I keep that hand facing it. He panics and falls to this side. I want to be a totem pole still. Push him down. I don't need him escaping. I bought myself some time here. Let's use it. Knee myself in the face. As I try to pull his hand behind his back, and then I simply cross my feet. And then really dig your heels into their side and have your partner try to get their hand out. And from here, you can start digging for chokes, wet willy, I don't know. Whatever you want, all right? Can we go with our partners and do that for a few minutes, and then we'll put this to the test, all right? Let's go.
And now, yeah, now you've got a great position. Yep, that's 100% it.
I don't know.
That's it. And then you just own it at that point, whatever you want to do. Yep, yep.
So just like the beginning of class, where I like to kind of introduce it in a way that just was just blind, now we're equipped with, you know, almost an hour of stuff. So you're going to do the same drill, you know, positional sparring with your partner, but now you're going to allow them to have that control. You're not going to start until they're okay with that grip. And you, as the person who's had your back taken, you're going to get out. Whatever happens after that is not up to me. It's up to you. But please be controlled. You have a lot of power right here, all right? Be mindful, the person who has this being done to them, like, I'm in a really bad spot. And at any point in time, stay tap. If things start to go south really fast, just stay at tap. Person who has a grip, let it go, right? I want to still see some escapes. You're going to get into some interesting positions. Person with the grip, if they don't scream bloody murder, don't let go. Don't let go. Even if they're getting out and you feel like I'm going to be on the bottom, keep it and see where it takes you. Explore, all right? The only difference is find a new partner, someone you haven't drilled with yet, and do it to them. Let's go. New partner. If you don't feel good about your rep, you can do it again, right? She's testing your right? I'm assuming we had better success. All right. Any kind of like, oh my God, that was terrible. Didn't help me at all. All right. I want to thank you again for coming. I know first full day of training, you're all like raring to go. I'm really happy that you all showed up to my class. If we can get a class photo down at the end, it would really, really make me happy. A nice memory of my first time here in Europe and in Poland. All right. Thank you. Thank you.